Welcome, everyone, to another NBC Game of the Week, 1973. This time we're back in the National League. We keep rotating between National and American League games. So we were in the National League last week. Of course, we had that Boston-Baltimore game, which was down to the wire. So this time we're in the National League. And in the National League, in this game, it is the Houston Astros taking on the Chicago Cubs here at the friendly confines of Wrigley Field. So, let me get everything together. Tabby is here. She is resting quietly, and I do not want to disturb her. She is resting really quietly, and boy, you just don't want to cause any ruffles there at all if you can help it. All right. These are your lineups, benches, and bullpens for both teams, so that you can look at those. I'll have them off to the side as we're playing the game, but right now I'll just kind of show them so you can see them. I don't know about my lighting. I have my second light off because I think there's enough light here already, but I could be wrong. Somebody can certainly chime in and let me know if there's a problem with that. Then we can certainly get that going. Let's see here. Hello, Kenyon. Hello, Brian B. Good to see you. Hello, Ben. Yeah, what I can do, let me do this. I'm going to turn the other light on, and if it causes the viewing to be too screwed up, then I'll turn it back off. So this is turning it on. If I can find it here. There we go. So that's the secondary light that just came on. That may or may not be too much light. You can let me know. I can always turn down this other light as well. The lamp light itself, I can turn it down a notch or two. So I don't know if that looks okay to everybody or what. Let me get back to my screen here so I can see what you guys are seeing. Let's get over to here, and then we can get this game going. There we go. Okay, the chat was not showing up in my box for some strange reason. I don't know why. Hello, Doug. How are you doing? Okay, so if you're saying that this looks okay, then I guess we'll go with it. If that looks like it's, it looks like it's a little slanted, so I'm gonna kind of tilt it this way, maybe to straighten things up just a hair. I think hopefully that now is a good shape. Like I said, you can see the lineups. In 1973, Houston was mostly orange with their gray. At first, when I did the lineups, I had them in blue, but I went back and looked at their jerseys, and they're primarily they were orange and a little bit of blue on the side. So that's why I readjusted it right now. Okay, there you see the starting lineup. Starting pitchers for today's game for the for the Cubs rather, is Rick Russell, and for the Astros is left-hander Jerry Rolls-Royce. Houston won this game in real world 6-4, which is what I have down here. I did the pitcher-catcher hold ratings, and both effects are 0. Royce is a -2, but the catcher Edwards is a +2 for a 0. Russell's a +2, but Hunley's a -2, so that's a 0 as well. The only thing I have not done yet is ballpark effects. So I will go ahead and do those right now. And then before we get the game started, I will show the standings. So let's go to the ballpark effects for the National League. Super advanced weather effects for the National League. Chicago. This is a day game in August, so we're looking in this section right here. 1 to 11 is good. 12 to 17 is average, and 18 to 20 is bad. So we have 15, which is average weather. So average weather, 15 to 12 are singles for left-handers. So the left-handed singles are 15. Right-handers are 12. And for home runs, I know these don't look like diamonds and triangles very well, but I'll do the best I can. 6 for the lefties and 19 for the righties. I'm not sure why so much better for right-handers. Maybe the wind blows out that way. I don't know. But that's what our ballpark effects look like. Hello, Philip. How are you? One player who was not carded in the set that's in the starting lineup is Dave Rosello of the Cubs. I printed his computer card, and I printed it extra big. So when he comes to bat, I'm going to have this sitting here. So hopefully this shows up better on the screen now that it's bigger. I can always even lift it up higher if I need it to be, just so you can see his card, his computer-generated card, a little bit better. Let's see here. Maybe something like that when he comes to bat. But if it's off the pitcher card, it won't matter anyway. The standings, I went ahead and printed these in black and white because then when you print the computer standings in the red and the blue, it gets kind of funky. So I'm hoping that this shows up okay. It's kind of a lighter print, but hopefully it shows up okay anyway. Let me fix the focus. I could tell that got screwed up from the get-go. Let me bring a card here so I can fix the focus for you. Putting all that stuff in there. There we go. All right, so there are the adjusted standings. As soon as this focus clears up for me. Let me get the focus going here. Okay, there we go. All right, it's kind of light. I'm going to bring this up a little higher so you can see it. The Pittsburgh Pirates lead the St. Louis Cardinals by a half a game. The Mets are 6 back, and Montreal is kind of fading at 8 back. So it's really a 3-team race there in the National League. And in the East. In the West, it's a 2-team race between the Giants and the Dodgers. Dodgers are 5 games back. Although the Astros are 10.5 back, Cincinnati really underperforming. They're 9 games worse than what they were in real world. Had they were they 70 and 47, they'd be right in the pennant race. But they're 61 and 56, so they faded really good. There was no real game today in today's schedule that was showing a game against pennant contenders. So I just picked a game in Wrigley. I figured you can never go wrong with a Saturday afternoon in Wrigley. I mean, so that's what we're going to go with. I'm going to put the boards over here for now. Hopefully they're out of the way. I don't know how well it shows up on the video, but the players in italics were the players that were used in the real game as pinch hitters and bullpen guys. So if you look at the Cubs, Locker and Aker were used. They are in italics. Forsch and Dierker were used by the Astros. And on the bench, the Astros didn't use anybody. The Cubs used Heiser and Thornton. And again, Thornton I don't have a card for either. I did not print one out because it's just not worth it. But if I have to use Thornton, I'll bring him up on the computer and let you guys see him. And then we'll see what happens. Hello, Mr. RJL. How are you doing? Okay. I think we're ready to go now. Everything has been factored in. And we are ready to get this game going. Rick Russell on the mound. And I may need to move. I think I'm going to have to move this board, Brian B. So if you want to look at it and take a snapshot of it or whatever, or memorize it, whatever, I'm going to have to move this. I'll bring it in when we do substitutions. But I just need the room. So I'm going to have to move this thing over. The only thing I can do maybe is try to tilt this a little bit and move, because I've got some room here to the left of the tower I might be able to use. So let's see how that does. Let's see about if I can move this over here. I might still be able to show some of this. I'm not 100% sure. Again, Tabby is here, but she's resting. I don't want to disturb her. I kind of disturbed her on the inside pitch game the other night, and she didn't seem to care for it too much. So let's see. Oh, that's too far. I don't want to go that far over. Got to show the dice tower. So if we lap off some of the lineup boards, so be it. The most important thing are the cards and the dice. So, and I might actually try to lower this a little bit, get a little closer to the dice. Maybe we'll do that. I have to get this thing together before we start, and then once I get it in one position I like, then I'll go with it. But I really want to get this into focus here, into where you can really zoom in on everything. And let's see. I'm hoping now that will cover it. Now, as we get later in the game, and if I have to move, then I'll move some stuff over. Right now, I think that's about the best I can do with it to show the cards and the dice. And the toy cannon, Jimmy Wynn, is going to lead things off for the Astros. and make sure his card, the complete card of Jimmy Wynn, doesn't get cut off, because you're going to need that right-hand side. See, column 6 is getting a little bit cut off. So let me raise this up just a hair, because I don't want to cut anything off at all. So I think that now might be the best way to do it. All right, looks good. All right, we're going to go with it. If you say it looks okay, then we're going to roll with it. That's a Steve Winwood song, I think, Roll With It, or something like that, maybe. From the late 1980s, I think it was. All right, so we are ready to go. Rick Russell pitching to Jimmy Wynn, the toy cannon. Houston won the real world game 6-4. We're underway in the game of the week. 6-9 against Russell is a strikeout. So Jimmy Wynn down on strikes for the first batter of the game. He takes the K. One away for shortstop Roger Metzger, switch hitter. Russell 4-10 against the switch hitter batting left is a fly ball center field X. We got our first X chance. Center fielder is Rick Monday. He's a 2E10. So we bring our defensive charts out for center fielder. Get those. Center field charts. He's a 2E10 in center field. So we get a 2 and a 19, and that's an F3 easy play. This is a 12, and he is an E10 in center field. There is no 12, so it's good play, as there is no 12 in center field. So Rick Monday will make the running catch and retire Roger Metzger. RJL, in case you came in late, there are the updated standings up to this game. Pittsburgh leads St. Louis by a half. The Mets are 56-56, which are actually doing 5 games better than they did in real world, and they're 6 games back. It's just Pittsburgh is 5 games better than they were in real world, which is why they have that lead. All right, here is Cesar Cedeno for the Astros. He will step things off. Let me fix the focus again. I put that chart in there, and that page in there, and it messed up the focus. All right, now we'll get it going here. Cesar Cedeno, Rick Russell, 6'5". Everything's come off the pitcher card. It's a ground ball shortstop X. Shortstop in this case is Kessinger. He's a 2E31. So a 2E31 for a shortstop. 2E31. See if he can make this play. 2 and an 18. He does. It's a G1. That's a 10. Usually very rare do you have errors on a 10. And he is an E. What I say he was? An E31. E31. There is no 10 here. So very rarely do you see a 10 as an error in Strat-O-Matic Super Advanced. It'll happen once in a while, but it's not that regular. So nothing doing for the Stros in the first. We go to the bottom of the first. It is Houston nothing, and the Cubs coming to bat. I'm going to do them vertically now this time. I think that's the better way to do it. Do it vertically, and that way I can lower the thing down a little bit. I think that's the better way to do it. Then then we get later in the innings, I'll have to come up with something, but that's the way I'll do it for now. All right, so Rick Monday is your batter. That's as close as I can get with still showing the dice tray, I think. So I think that's the best I'm going to be able to do with it and still show the dice tray. Still need to move over a touch, I think, on this. All right, here we go. Royce the lefty, 5-4, and that's a ballpark home run chance. Monday has normal power against lefties. Wrigley Field home runs lefties are 1-6. That's a 1. The double die is a 1. And Rick Monday leads off the bottom of the first with the home run off of Jerry Rolls-Royce. Rolls-Royce was not warmed up, apparently, as he couldn't get out of the driveway. He gives up a ballpark blast. The wind was blowing out to left field. And that makes it 1-0 Cubs right off the bat. Here's Jose Cardinal. 6-7 for Royce, and that is a ground ball second base X. Tommy Helms is a 2E10. So we bring our chart in for 2E10 as a second baseman. 2E10. 2 and a 14 is a G1. That's a 10, and like I said, you very rarely have errors on 10s, and this is no exception. Good play for the second baseman, Tommy Helms. So Cardinal is retired, 1 away for sweet swinging Billy Williams. And every time I bring a chart on, of course, the focus gets screwed up. So let me fix that. Lefty on lefty again, Billy Williams. 1-6, and that's going to be a straight out single to left field for Billy Williams. Single to left for Williams. He's not going to go anywhere. He does not run very well. They will. Well, are they going to hold him on or not? Yeah, they'll hold him on. Just to be realistic, they'll hold him on. Which means the second baseman, Helms, is responsible with the righty Hickman up there. So here is Royce. Havoc roll 1. Chance for a wild pitch on a 1-7. And Royce uncorks the wild pitch. So he is having some issues early on, as he is having some issues here. Royce, 3-6 to Hickman is a walk, and that's going to put runners at first and second. So 1 down, 2 on. Let me raise this up because I got too close, so I'm cutting off too much stuff. So that'll bring up the Cub veteran Ron Santo. I think he got into the Hall of Fame on the Veterans Committee, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but I think he did. I think he was put in by the Veterans Committee. Royce, 5. I always thought it was Hall of Very Good. Not sure it was Hall of Fame, but certainly Hall of Very Good. So here's Royce to Santo, 4-5. That's a fly ball to right, and that's 2 down. Williams is not going to try to do anything. Wynn has a -1 arm, and Williams doesn't run well, so they're going to hold him at second base. 2 down, and that brings up Randy Hunley, the catcher. 1 again. Royce, can he throw another wild pitch? No, 8 this time. This time Edwards blocks it. Royce, 3-7, Hunley. Ground ball. It would have been a 3-6 would have been a single on a clutch result, but ground ball to short is going to take care of it, and that's going to end the inning. But the Cubs get the run on the leadoff homer from Rick Monday. And at the end of 1, it's the Cubs 1, Astros nothing. All right, Rick Russell back out, and he will be facing Bob Watson, who's a terrible left fielder. 5 +3 arm and an E11, but he's in there for his offense. He hit .312 with 16 home runs. I mean, he would be a perfect candidate for a DH. Even at first base, he was bad, 4.19. But they got to have Lee May play first base, so they got to put Watson somewhere, and that's what they're doing. So Russell, 5-8, and that's a strikeout. Struck him out. 1 away, and that brings up Doug Rader. I'm going to have to lift the phone up a little more once we get further in the innings because I'm going to run out of room if I don't. But early on, looks like I can do it this way. Russell, 3-4 to Rader, and that's a ground ball to short. So an easy play for for Kessinger. There's 2 away. For Lee May, first baseman. Russell, 3-7, and that's another strikeout. So Russell, 1-2-3 second. He keeps the Astros at bay, and we go to the bottom of the second. Still 1-0 Chicago. And Jerry Royce back out. We'll be facing bottom third of the order, Kessinger, Rosello, and Russell. And for those that came in late, Rosello was not carded, but I do have a blown-up version of Dave Rosello's card that I printed out so that when he does come up to bat, if we go off his card, you'll be able to see what his results are. So I've got that to the side just in case. Of course, if it comes off Royce's card, then it won't matter anyway. So, but we will see what happens. But Kessinger will be first. Switch hitter, batting right-handed. That's a 5-6 against the righty, and that's a split chance. 1 to 12 is a double. That's an 11. So that'll be a leadoff double for Don Kessinger. A leadoff double. He will be held at second base. And now we will need Rosello if we get to that. If it comes off the batter card, I will show Rosello. Chuck, Tabby is resting quietly on her on Gracie's old blanket, and I don't want to disturb her. At least not right now. All right, nothing on the Havoc roll. Let's see if Royce rolls off the batter card or the pitcher card. It's off the pitcher cards. It doesn't matter. Rosello's a righty. 6'4". It's a ground ball shortstop X. So that's Roger Metzger. Metzger is a 1 E14. So we know he's going to get to it as a 1. Just a matter if his runner advancement or not. 1 and a 1 is a G3 pound. The runner was being held, but that was Helms that was holding the runner, not the shortstop. So that doesn't come into play. It is a G3, so runners are going to advance. That's a 12, and he's an E14. E14, there is no 12, so it's a ground ball to short, but the runner will advance. Kessinger will take third on the 6-3 ground out. Now the infield is going to have to come in. That was a big play, getting the runner advancement, because now the infield has to come in. The pitcher is up. Russell, he hits off pitcher hitting card number 1. The infield is in. He is an A bunter. It would take a lot of balls to do a suicide squeeze right about now. I've never done a suicide squeeze, so I don't even know if I want to. Yeah, there's not a lot of. I mean, I don't want to give away the innings. So, all right, Royce now with the infield in. 5-2. That's a fly ball to left field C, and I believe with the C that means that the runner has to hold. As far as I'm aware. C flyouts. I don't even have that chart in front of me anymore because that's more on the advanced thing. But I believe a C means the runner has to hold. Where's my rule book? I'm pretty sure they have to hold on that. So B and A's are the ones you move up on. C's you have to hold. So now Rick Monday is going to take a base hit or something from Rick Monday, or an error or something like that, to score the run, or a wild pitch if Jerry Royce uncorks one. 2, chance for a balk or a pass ball. We could get one of those too. 6, chance for a pass ball. The pass ball rating of Johnny Edwards, his pass ball rating is a 0, so he cannot have a pass ball. So we will not have a pass ball. We will just fire away. Royce, 3-3 to Monday. That's a ground ball to second, and that's going to end the inning. So, no runs, a hit, no errors, and a man left. At the end of 2, Cubs still lead it 1-0. And now we're going to have Edwards, Helms, and Royce, bottom third of the order against Rick Russell. Edwards, the catcher. All right. Russell, 2-7 to Edwards, struck him out. 1 away. Brings up Tommy Helms. (4-3), and that is a ballpark single. I'm sorry, that's 5-3. 4-3 is a ground ball first base X. That could be trouble. Hickman's a 4E20. Not known for his defense. He's a 4E20, is Hickman. So that could be problematic. 4-14, though, he will get to that. That's a 14, and he is an E20. E20, there's no 14. There's a 6, 10, 11, 15, 17, 18, but no 14. So Hickman will get it and flip to Russell covering for out number 2. And that's going to send up Jerry Royce, who hits off pitcher hitting card number 2. He's a 2WL against... Hello, Gerald. How are you doing? Russell, 4-7 against the lefty, is a single 2 stars. How about that? Jerry Royce gets the first hit of the game for the Astros off the Rick Russell's pitching card. Of course, he will not be held. And that'll bring up Jimmy Wynn. Nothing happening on the Havoc. Russell, 5-5 against the right-hander. One's a triple, but that's a 9, so it's a single 2 stars. And that'll put runners at the corners with 2 outs. Jimmy Wynn will have to be held. He will not try to go anywhere, but he is going to be held. And that'll bring up Roger Metzger. Clutch situation, as they say. Or as Mr. Guterman would say, clutch situation. Russell 1-7 to Metzger is a fly to center, and that's going to end the inning. So the Astros leave 2 on and come away empty-handed. We go to the bottom of the third. It is still 1-0 favor the Cubbies. And this is probably the last thing I can be this close on the cards. I'm going to probably have to raise the phone up just a little bit to include all the cards and the dice tray. Nice to get it close like this, but as we're going down the score sheet, I'm going to have to be moving that over. So we'll just deal with it as best we can. Royce to Cardinal, 2-2 against the lefty. He's hit by the pitch. So he gets plunked. And let's see, can he get the lead? He needs a 2 through 5 to get a lead. The pitcher-catcher quotient is a 0, so 0 effect. So if he gets the lead, it would be a 1 to 15. So they're going to try it. And he gets the lead with a 4. So 17 being held makes him a 15. So 1 to 15, he'll steal it. And he does. Stolen base for Cardinal. So Jose Cardinal is now at second base, takes a double play out of the equation. And here's Billy Williams. He singled his last time up. See if he can do it again. I believe it was off the ballpark card. Cardinal is being held at second. 3-10. And that's a ground ball second base C, so that will move Cardinal to third base with only 1 out. And the infield's going to have to come in again for Jim Hickman. Nothing on the Havoc. Here's Hickman, Royce to Hickman. Infield in. 2-6 against the lefty. It may not matter. That's a triple for Jim Hickman. He's a 19 here, so that's a triple. Didn't matter where the infield was. Jim Hickman just rattles a triple to left center field that Watson was having a little bit of trouble with. That's an RBI triple. It's 2-0 Cubs. Still only 1 out. Infield still going to have to come in for Ron Santo. And Royce in trouble early. Looking to get out of it. 4-8 against the right-hander. That's a walk, so that's not going to help us call as much either, although it does set up a double play. And they will play for the double play with Randy Hunley batting. Hunley could be a double play candidate, so they're going to play back for the double play. See if they can turn 2 on Hunley. Royce, 6-7. It's ground ball second base X. Santo is not being held, so second baseman Helms will keep his 2E10. 2E10, they could turn a double play right here on a 2E10. Big play here for the Astros. 2 and a 15 is a G1, so if there's no arrow, it'll be a double play. That's a 14, and he is an E10. 10, no 14. It's going to be a good double play, 4-6-3, and that will get the Astros out of further damage as they leave the runner at third base, but the Cubs do put on another run. And we go to the fourth. It is 2-0 Chicago. 2-0 Chicago. And I am going to have to raise this up just a hair so we can fit everything. Now that I'm starting to get more over to this side of the score sheet. So I want to make sure everything is fitting the way it needs to. We can move this back a little bit this way, I think. Bear with me while I get this figured out. Let's move that sucker over. Yeah, even a little further, I think. All right, so Cedeno will lead it off against Rick Russell. And for some reason, focus looks a tiny bit off, so let's fix that if we can. All right, we're ready to go. Still doesn't look all that great. Let me see now. Okay, that's a little bit better. Okay, here we go. Russell. 1-3 to Cedeno is a ground ball to short. Boy, all these hits in column one, and he found a ground ball to short. And Kessinger all over it. One away for Bob Watson. 6-10, and that is a ground ball third base X. That's Santo. He's a 2E23 at third base. A 2E23. 2 and a 17. He'll get to it. E23 and a 13. E23. There's a 13 right there. So Ron Santo boots it. E5. And that will give the tying run to the plate for the Astros. Russell not too happy about it. Watson's not being held. He's not going anywhere. Infield looking for the double play to try to erase that error. Russell to Rader. 6-5. That's a ground ball shortstop X. Shortstop is Kessinger. He's a 2E31, so they have a chance possibly to get that double play. To get a high number on the D20. And we do. It's a 20. It's best you can get. That is a G1. That's a 10. And we already saw that 10 really has no errors on it when you roll a 10. So that is a 6-4-3 double play. I did double check it just to verify, but there is no error. 6-4-3 double play will end the inning. It's going to do it for the Stros. The error does not come back to bite Chicago. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Still 2-0 Cubbies. And Royce is out to face Don Kessinger, Rosello, and Russell. So I've got the Rosello printout needed if we roll on his card. Kessinger doubled his first trip. 6-10 against the right-handers. A ground ball third base X. And that's going to be Rader, who's a 1E27. Well, with nobody on base is a 1. We know he's going to get to it. We're just checking the E27. So we're checking for E27 as a third baseman. E27. So 9, 12, 16, 15, 17, or 18. So basically 15 through 18 or a 9 or a 12. It's the only way he makes an error. And as a 5, it's a rare play. How about that? So we're going to have to roll the D20 to figure out if it's a G1 or not. It's a 20. This is a G1. So it's a G1 rare play. Let's see here. With runner on first base, is there anybody on first base? No, he's the leadoff batter of the inning, so nobody's on first base. With no runner on, the batter hits a single. I'm sorry. Let's go G1. No run, the batter grounds out with the runners holding. So it was something about the ball hitting somebody or other. So, but it's just going to be a simple ground out for out number 1. As Rader throws to Lee May. All right, here's Jerry Royce facing Rosello. And now we're under Rosello's card, so we bring in Rosello. It's a 1-5 against the lefty. And that's a straight-out double to center field right there. I don't know how well it shows up on the computer, but his 1-5 is a straight-out double to center field. Where my finger is pointing, it's a double to center field on a 1-5. There's no split chance on it. It's a straight-out double for Rosello. So Rosello, a 1-out double. And that brings up Rick Russell using pitcher hitting card number 1. But a straight-out double. Rosello not being held at second. Royce, 2-12, and that's a ground ball shortstop A. That will hold the runner. So 2 down. And we flip it over to Rick Monday. Monday has homered and grounded to second. 1 for 2. Royce trying to get out of the inning. 3-8, and he does. He strikes out Rick Monday to end the frame. So the 1-out double comes to naught. And we played 4 here at Wrigley Field. It is the Cubs 2 and the Astros nothing. That score has held up. Now Rick Russell back on the bump. Will be facing Lee May, Johnny Edwards, and Tommy Helms. Numbers 6, 7, and 8 in the lineup. Oh, let's bring him down just a hair. Russell, 5-7 against the righty. Fly ball to center field. And that is hauled in by Rick Monday. 1 down for Johnny Edwards. 4-6 against the lefty. It's a ground ball to second. 2 down. 2 up and 2 down, and that brings up Tommy Helms, second baseman. Russell, 2-9 to Helms. Pops it up to first. Hickman is there. It's a 1-2-3 inning. Didn't take long for Rick Russell to get through that inning. And we go to the bottom of the 5th. Still 2-0 Cubbies. Looking to add more. Jerry Royce on the bump. Will be facing Jose Cardinal, Billy Williams, and Jim Hickman. Royce, 6-7, is a ground ball second base X. That is Helms. He's a 2E10. So Helms will see if he can make the play on a 2E10. 2 and a 3. 2 and a 3 is a G3, so he will get to it. That is a total of 14, and he is an E. I believe I said he's an E10. He is. Is there a 14? No 14. So Tommy Helms gets a tough hop, but makes the play, and Cardinal, he is retired. 1 down for Billy Williams. Hi, Frank. How you doing? 5-5, left-handed. That's an in home run chance. He does have normal power. 1-12 is a home run. That's a 10. So Billy Williams goes opposite field, gets that jet stream up in left field, and takes Jerry Royce deep. Look at it again. 5-5 right here. In home run chance, 1-12. He is normal power, and that's a 10. So Billy Williams goes deep, and the Cubs lead it 3-0. And now with Royce leading off the next inning, there could be a pitching change. There could be some bullpen activity or whatnot. We shall see. Here's Hickman, 2-7, and that is a single to left field. So Royce starting to get hit around his 3rd time through the order. Hickman will not be held, but the Astros do have bullpen activity working for him down there. They do have right-hander Ray. I do, Frank, when there's an opportunity to rob home runs, I do. Certainly do. Wrigley Field, you cannot rob home runs. Wall's just too high. Nothing going on there. Here is Royce DeSanto. 2-6, and that's going to be a single. There's a Omega symbol here, but there's no clutch situation. It's just a single with 2 asterisks, and that will move runners to the corners. So runners at first and third. Santo not being held won't go anywhere for Randy Hunley. Astros looking for the double play. Try to get out of the inning. 4-4, and that is a catcher X. So Edwards is a 3E4 as a catcher X. 3E4. So we'll bring our chart in for the catcher X. He's a 3E4. See what he can do. It's a 3 and a 9. So a 3 and a 9 is a P/F, and that's a 10, 11 actually. That's an 11, and he is an E4. There is no 11, but it's a P/F. So P/F says with runners on base, a pitch gets past the catcher for a pass ball. All runners advance. All right, so it's a pass ball that will score the run and move Santo to third. So the pass ball by Edwards brings home a run. It's now 4-0 Cubs. Can't blame that one on Royce. He had no choice on that one. Now he's facing Hunley with a Santo at second, who's not being held. 6-9, that's a fly to center, 2 down. And now he's got to get Don Kessinger to get out of the inning. 4 runs in the inning. That pass ball run would be unearned without a base hit here. It would be an unearned run. 3-7. That's a ground ball to short. It's going to end the inning. So that is an unearned run. That's going to be it for Jerry Royce. He's going to lead off next inning. They need offense. So Royce is going to allow 4 runs, 3 earned in 5 innings of pitching. And let's check the hits he allowed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hits he allowed. He walked 1, 2. He walked 2 when he hit a batter. And he didn't strike out very many. He just struck out Monday. That was his only strikeout. So a rough outing there for Jerry Royce, and he's on the hook for the loss. No question about it. And now we will have a pinch hitter coming up, and let's bring the lineup board back in so you can see who's available for the Astros against the right-hander Rick Russell. Left-handed, they don't have anybody. They got a switch hitter, Stewart, but I'm not sure how good he is, so we'll check his averages and whatnot. Jimmy Stewart is a 191 hitter, so they're not going to go with him. They don't really have a whole lot, to be quite frank with you. Their bench is awful. The best they have is Tommy Agee, and that's 222, and Skip Jutsi or Jutes, however it's pronounced. Jutsi maybe. Jutsi, I'm not sure how it's pronounced. He's 223. Everybody else is horrible. Jimmy Stewart's 191, but I'm going to play it the way I think the manager would play it, and that is bring in your switch hitters. So Jimmy Stewart is going to pinch hit in this situation. So for Houston, in the 6th inning, pinch hitting is Stewart. So Jimmy Stewart will be pinch hitting right here. Jimmy Stewart. So switch hitter Jimmy Stewart will pinch hit, and that's going to be it for Jerry Royce. And the Astro bullpen will have to produce a new pitcher. Down 4-0, you're probably not going to use the best you have. So let's see who they might want to go to in this situation. Again, we'll bring the lineup board out. They have Dierker, Forsch, Ray, Upshaw, York, and Crawford. Astros have Kessinger, the pitcher, and Monday do up switch right and left. So you can pretty much go any way you want to. So they're gonna bring in Jim York to pitch in the bottom of the 6th. So Jim York will be your pitcher. Jim York. So he's warming up in the bullpen, getting ready to come in. Jerry Royce is done for the day. All right, so Jimmy Stewart will lead things off, followed by Jimmy Wynn and Roger Metzger here at the top of the 6th. Russell's fatigue is a 7, so he's still okay. He's still good to go. Russell 3-3 to Jimmy Stewart, and then he's going to hit him. So he gets hit by the pitch. Don't know if that's retaliation for when Cardinal got hit by Jerry Royce. I wouldn't think you want to hit guys when you're winning 4-0, but maybe you do. I don't know. Jimmy Stewart not going to be held. He doesn't run well at all. And another Jimmy Wynn is going to bat. So Jimmy Wynn against Russell. That's a 6-8, and that is a ground ball shortstop A. That's a 6-4-3 tailor-made double play. So the double play is turned. That is the second double play turned by the Cubs. 2 quick outs for Roger Metzger, and Jim York will be ready to come in the bottom of the inning. 3-7 for Metzger, struck him out. That's going to end the inning. Nothing doing there. Rick Russell pitching a shutout through 6. Remember, Astros won the game, real game, 6-4. So they're doing much, much better now. Jim York is your pitcher. He was 3-4. 4.42 ERA and 6 saves for the Astros. So Jimmy York, his pitcher hold is a +9. Terrible. But up 4-0, the Cubs probably aren't going to try to run. It's going to be Kessinger, Rosello, and Russell due up for the Cubbies. I might need to raise this up just a hair more to make sure everything fits. So let me do that as we're getting late in the game. So before I get going, before I roll the dice, I want to make sure everything shows up on the computer the way I would like it to. Looks like you can still see everything. So York with the pitch, 5-7. That's a ground ball second base X. And again, that's Helms, 2E10. So 2E10 for Helms. 2 and a 3. He will still get to that. That's a 10, and we know he's not going to be an error on a 10. So Helms will make the play. One away. One down, and that's going to bring up Mr. Rosello, and we'll see if we need his card or not, or whether we go off the pitcher card. Righty-righty matchup. It's off the pitcher card, so it doesn't matter. 5-8, and that's a straight-out single, so Rosello's 2 for 3. I'm sorry, Kessinger made the last out last time. I didn't move my thing the way I should have, so let's reboot and restart the whole inning over, why don't we? When I don't have the player there, I forgot to move him over, so actually Rosello is actually the one that's supposed to lead off the inning because Kessinger made the last out there. So let's go back and reboot. Jim York going to reboot here and face Rosello to start the inning. So make sure I get that corrected. And we're still off the pitcher card. 6-11 to fly to center, so this time Rosello is out of there. His only hit was when it came off the pitcher card. Oh, I'm sorry. The double came off his own card. My bad. So Rosello is out. And they probably will change Rosello after this because he's a 4 fielder. And once we get to the 7th, we can make substitutions. So might very well change that. Actually, Rosello's at second base. I don't know why I have him at third base. He's at second base because you got Santo at third base. So all right. Or did I have this? You know what? Now I'm doubting myself. Let me go back and look at the score sheet. I'm wondering if Helms. I'm sorry. If I wonder if Kessinger was playing second and Rosello was playing short. I don't know. I might have had this mixed up. So let me see if I can't figure this thing out. And make sure my lineup didn't get messed up. I may have really messed up the lineup here. Doesn't really matter. I mean, neither one of these teams are in playoff contention, so it's not going to affect anything. So let's pull this game up here from August 11th. And make sure I didn't misread the lineup. You just assume Metzger's a shortstop, so didn't even look at it otherwise. So let's see here. Now Metzger's at short. Oh, I'm looking at Chicago, not the other way around. Yeah, Rosello is playing second base because Kessinger was at short. So, no, I had it right. Rosello's, well, I didn't have it right. I had him at third, but he's actually playing second base. So we can certainly replace him in the lineup. We can certainly replace him on the lineup, so no problems there. And that'll bring up Rick Russell. Rick Russell. York to Russell, 2-5, and that is a strikeout for out number 2. 2 down, and that brings up Rick Monday. 112 against a righty. That's a ballpark home run blast. It's a 1-6. That's a 17, though, so it's just going to be a fly to right, and that will end the inning. That's all for the Cubbies. They go up 3 up and 3 down for Jim York. He had a good outing. And now the Cubbies will make that move for a new defensive second baseman. They will bring on Paul Popovich. He will take over for Rosello at second base. So let's write in his numbers. He is a 3 E19, much better defender. So Rosello is gone and Popovich is in. So going forward, Popovich in place of Rosello. At second base. So Popovich will be the new second baseman, and of course Rosello is now out of the game. All right, Russell now, top of the 7th. This is his fatigue inning. This is fatigue inning right here. And Cesar Cedeno will be the pitcher. Russell, let's see, I'm starting to get cut off a little bit, so let's move this over a bit. So Russell to Cedeno, and let me fix the focus if there is a problem with the focus. We'll fix that real quick. All right, so Russell to Cedeno, 4-0 Cubs, top of the 7th. 3-10 for Cedeno is a leadoff walk. So Cedeno walks. He will be held. Pretty good chance to steal, and you're down 4-0, but sometimes the best time to be aggressive is when you're behind, because their offense has been dormant the whole game, and they need to spark something here. So Cedeno, to get the lead, needs a 2 through 6 or an 11. So they're gonna go for it here. That's a 6. He does get the lead, so it's a 19. Being held as a 17, and the quotient, pitcher-catcher quotient, is a 0. So it's 1 to 17, and Cedeno will steal second base. And he does. Stolen base for Cedeno. It also takes away a double play where Watson is a good double play candidate. So it eliminates the double play. Cedeno will be held at second base. And now Russell will be facing Bob Watson. That's a 5-9, and that is a strikeout. So he strikes out Watson for out number 1. And that moves us on to Doug Rader. One chance for a wild pitch on a 1-9. It is a wild pitch, so Russell wild pitches him to third base. So he's at third with 1 out. Infield is back. They'll give up the run. They're not going to screw around with playing the infield in when you got a 4-0 lead. Another one, chance for another wild pitch on a 1-9. 10. This time it's blocked by Hunley to prevent that from happening. Russell 1-8 to Rader is a line out to third base. All these hits in column 1, he found a line out to third for out number 2. No double play. You have to have a low max for that, so no double play. And here's Lee May with the runner at third and 2 down. 2, chance for a balk or a pass ball. Chance for a pass ball, but I believe Hunley did not have any pass ball. He does not. He's got a 0 pass ball, so no worries there. Russell 6-7, and that is a ground ball, second base X. So we're looking at the new second baseman, Popovich. Good thing you brought the new second baseman. He's a better defender. 3E19 for Popovich. A 3E19. 3-20. He's going to get to that all day long. That's a 10, so E19 is not going to be a problem. So Popovich makes the play to end the inning, and the Astros strand Cedeno at third. We are going to the 7th inning stretch here at Wrigley Field with the score Chicago 4 and Houston nothing. So I'm going to take a quick stretch break myself. I tried this the other night and it disturbed Tabby. It didn't go so well, but I'm going to try again. I'm going to tempt fate. So let's see if we can get this done without waking a sleeping tiger, as they say. So I'm going to come over here. And this is where Tabby, that was Gracie's old blanket. See, I did disturb her. I sure did. That was Gracie's old blanket and her old little mouse toy. And Tabby seems to gravitate to that now. So that's her spot. She doesn't want to be disturbed. So I don't know if I can get a close-up of her face. Tabby, you going to say something? Oh, she's yawning at us. She's yawning at us. Do you believe that? You believe the nerve of that to yawn at us? Are you kidding me? Tabby, you can't be more excited than that? Is the game that much of a yawner? Apparently it is. So we're going to resume here as soon as I get the phone back in place. But boy, talk about being just told to go away kind of thing here. Tabby just says, get out of here. I want nothing to do with you. I'm busy. So all right, so let's make sure I got everything in place here. Now that I've got everything disturbed by putting Tabby over there, showing Tabby. York's in his second inning of relief. He has a relief rating of 2, and he went 1, 2, 3 in his first inning of work, so he's in good shape. I don't know why it's so slanted. Let me fix that. No idea why it's looking so slanted on my phone. Maybe my phone is slanted. I don't know. Maybe I'm slanted. So you are exactly right, Chuck. There are no feline delays on that other channel. There are no feline anythings on that other channel. So, all right. So let's move this over here just a tad. I think we can get him in like this. All right. So we're going to start the bottom of the 7th in a 4-0 game. I think everything looks okay now. Not as close to the cards as I would like to be. See if I can move it down just a hair. But I don't want to lose the peripheries here and lose the dice tower or cut off some of the cards. And I don't want to cover the score sheet either. So it's kind of a, you know, what do you want to lose or what do you want to gain here? So we'll go with that. All right, here we go. Jim York to Jose Cardinal. Get a 4-5, and that's a fly to center field. 1 away. So Cardinal flies to center. Brings up Billy Williams. He homered his last time up. He's actually 2 for 3 in this game. 1-8. This time he will walk. So a 1-out walk to Billy Williams. He will not be held. And Jim Hickman, first baseman, is stepping to the plate. All right, York, 2-6. Hickman, 1-4 is a dinger, but that's a 19, so he's going to fly to left, and that's out number 2. And that brings up Ron Santo. York to Santo, 4-7. And that's a single 2 stars. That'll move the runners to the corners as the inning continues. Runners are at the corners. With 2 outs for Randy Hunley, nobody's being held in this 4-0 game. York to Hunley. 1-11, and that's a ballpark home run blast. 1-19, that's gone. Randy Hunley coup de grace this ball game with a 3-run shot. Look at it again. 1-11 is a straight-up home run, but it does have the diamond shot. And Wrigley Field, 1-19 is home runs for righties. That's a 2. It is long, and it is way out of here on Waveland Avenue. And Randy Hunley has just sealed the Astros' fate if it wasn't sealed already with a 3-run home run. It's now 7-0 as the Cubs put up a touchdown on the Astros. And York is now fatigued, but there's 2 outs, and they really want to get him through the inning, so they're going to let him keep going to face Kessinger. 6-9, but that's bad news too. 10 is a single, at least it wasn't a double. And that's going to bring up Popovich for his first at bat. York was doing well until that home run came along. 6-10 to a switcher batting left as a ground ball to second. It's finally going to end the inning. But the Cubs strike for 3 on the home run from Randy Hunley. They have 3 home runs in the game. They have a solo home run. Actually, they have 2 solo home runs and a 3-run homer. And they now take a 7-0 lead into the 8th inning. That's going to be it for York. He's going to go 2 innings, and he's going to give up 3 hits, 3 runs, all earned. He's going to walk 1, strike out 1. But Royce is still on the hook for the loss, so York just has a bad outing. That's it. Rick Russell, starting the 8th inning. He does lead off next inning. Let's get him through 8 innings if possible. With a 7-0 lead, they might let him go all the way. He only had 1 walk against his point of weakness, so he's still got full endurance. And he's going to be facing Johnny Edwards, Tommy Helms, and a pinch hitter for York. And again, the bench for the Astros is very, very bad. Russell 2-2 for Edwards against a right-hander. It's a split chance. 1-18 is a single, so that will be a single for Edwards. So Edwards gets a single. Here comes Tommy Helms. Nobody's being held in a 7-0 game. 1 chance for a wild pitch. And it is, so another wild pitch for Russell as that evil D20 comes up 1 more often than I think it should. I think it's loaded. Russell 1-6 to Helms as a ground ball to short, so that wild pitch prevented a double play. It's just 1 away. And now the Astros go to their bullpen, or go to their bench rather. All righties on the bench, so they will bring on Tommy Agee former Met. Although he didn't have a very good year, Agee was a .222 hitter. He did hit 11 home runs and 266 at-bats, so he does have some power. So Tommy Agee will be the pinch hitter here in the top of the 8th. So Tommy Agee against Rick Russell with 1 out and a runner at second. 5-7. That is a fly to center. That's out number 2. So Agee is out of there. 2 down for Jimmy Wynn. And per Strat rules, even though it's a 7-0 game, this is still considered a clutch situation. Why it's clutch when it's a 7-0 game, I have no idea. I assume we could homebrew this to say if it's not a 3-run game or less, we'd ignore the clutch. But actually, the only clutch I see on Jimmy Wynn is a 3-2. So if we don't roll a 3-2, clutch won't even be a factor anyway. 5-6, and that's a double right there. 1-11, but that's a 13, so it's going to be a single, but it's 2 stars, and that will score the run. And the Astros are finally on the board. Jimmy Wynn, RBI single. And now Russell is right at the fatigue mark. They're going to try to get him through the inning. He is fatigued, but they're going to try to get him through this inning. Try to get that last out of the 8th inning against Metzger. 2-6, and that's trouble. 1-2 is a home run. That's a 1. Little Roger Metzger just hit a home run. He had 1 home run all year. He just hit it. Look at it again. 2-6 against the right-hander. 1-2 is a home run. That's a 1. How many times have I been saying that this D20 comes up 1 a lot more than 5%? I swear to it, it does. It's a 2-run homer for Metzger. And Rick Russell just seems to have lost it all here in the 8th inning, just all of a sudden. It's now 7-3. A little more interesting. And Cesar Cedeno, the batter. They're going to still let Russell go. Try to get that last out. That's a 2-10, and that is a split chance. I'm sorry, no, 2-10's a ground ball to second. So that's going to finally get him out of the inning. 3 runs come in. That's it for Russell. He's done. He goes 8 innings, gives up 3 runs. They were all earned. And let's see how many hits he gave up. He gave up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only gave up 5. He had a 2-hitter going until this inning. But he is given up 5 now total for the game. His walks, he walked just the 1. He walked Cedeno. It's his only walk. He did hit a batter, but he only walked 1. Strikeouts. Let's see what he got for strikeouts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strikeouts. So the final line on Russell: 8 innings pitched, 5 hits, 3 runs, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts, and of course he's in line for the win. And he's going to bat. He was set to bat lead off in the bottom of the 8th, so he will certainly be pinch hit for. But we need a new pitcher for the Astros before we do any of that stuff. So let's go back to the lineup board and see who's going to be in there for the Astros. The Cubs will have a pinch hitter, and then they will have Monday and Cardinal, lefty-righty. So don't know what the pinch hitter is going to be. So let's see who they want to use. They used Durker and Forsch in the real game, but they were ahead in the real game. So you would think just by default they would use more of the lesser guys. So looks like to me Jimmy Ray is going to come on. And on the season, Jimmy Ray 6'4", 4.43 ERA and 6 saves. So Jimmy Ray is going to come on. He's a +2. And Edwards is a +2, so that's a 4. Not that it's going to matter in this kind of a game. But Ray will be on to pitch, and now the Cubs need a pinch hitter. So let's go back to the lineup board for their pinch hitting possibilities. They have a couple lefties. They have Gene Heiser, who pinch hit in the real game. Garrett or they have Pat Bork. You know what? They're going to let Heiser go ahead and pinch hit because he pitch hit in the real game. So we'll go ahead and go with that. Not that it matters. They're up 7-3. Heiser was terrible. He had a 174 average, but he's going to go ahead and pinch hit for Rick Russell. So Ray to Heiser, 3-6. That's a pop up to first base. One away, so Heiser is done. He's out of there. And now we're back to the top of the order and Rick Monday. Let's see, make sure we're not a little blurry here. All right, Rick Monday. I don't know if my hand went over the little camera lens or whatever that's causing, because I feel like I'm getting a little bit of a something. So let's try this now, see how that works. All right, so Heiser pinch hit in the 8th. And now Rick Monday is up. He is 1 for 4. He homered to lead off the game, but he's been 0 for 3 since. 6-5 to a lefty. He's a ground ball to second. 2 down. And that brings up Jose Cardinal. He's 0 for 3 and hit by a pitch. 2-7 for Cardinal. He's 0 for 4 as he grounds to short. So Jimmy Ray, a 1-2-3, 8th inning, giving up nothing. And yes, I know it's a death knell, but I'm putting the X here in the bottom of the 9th, knowing we're not going to need it. And now the Cubs will send in a bullpen guy. There's no save situation, so they're going to bring in maybe somebody not quite their closer, because I believe Aker was their closer. Could have been Locker, possibly. We don't know without looking at the stats. So let's take a look here and see what Aker has. Yeah, we'll go ahead and bring in Jack Aker. Why not? He pitched in the real game. Why not pitch him here? 4-5, 4.13 ERA, and 12 saves. So Jack Aker is on it. Again, it is not a save situation. But Jack Aker is on. He's a 0, and Hunley's a -2, so that's a -2. Not that the Astros would run, but just in case. And let's move this over just a hair so we can get the corner of the cards in here. For this last inning, it'll be Watson, Rader, and May due up for the Astros. And again, their bullpen is horrid. I mean, their bench is horrid, so no pinch hitters are anywhere in sight. So Aker, 3-6 to Watson is a fly to center, and that's one away. 7-3, top of the 9th. Here's Doug Rader. 1-8, and that's a line out to third base. Hit it hard, but right to Santo for out number 2. And we're down to the final out, Lee May. Last chance for the Astros is Lee May. 2-5, and that's a single. So Lee May at least keeps the game going for one more batter. And that one more batter is catcher Johnny Edwards. Aker to Edwards. 5-9 against a left-hander. That's a 1-17 home run. That's a 17. He has weak power, though, so it's only going to be a single, 2 stars. Would have been a 2-run homer, but it's a single, 2 stars, and the game ain't over yet, as they say. Tommy Helms is up next. He's a 287 hitter with runners at the corners and 2 outs. Nobody being held. Aker, 6-12. That's a fly ball to left, and that's going to end the ball game. So Aker gives up 2 hits in his 1 inning of work, nothing else. And there is your final score. Cubs 7, Astros 3. I believe there's 1 error in the game, and that was on Ron Santo. I don't see any other errors. So Ron Santo made his 1 error. Hits, the Astros got 7, and the Cubs got 11. So very convenient win for the Cubs as they win. They have 7 runs, 11 hits. That's very convenient. So 7-11-1 for the Cubbies, 3-7-0 for the Astros. Winning pitcher Rick Russell. Losing pitcher is Jerry Royce. Next Saturday, of course, since we're in the National League now, we go to the American League next Saturday. We'll be back at Fenway Park, and it will be the Kansas City Royals taking on the Boston Red Sox in that one. Kansas City Royals and the Boston Red Sox. And let me get the pitching matchup for you on that. That will be an August 18th game in Fenway. And it will be Paul Splittorff for the Royals against Dick Pole for the Red Sox. One of the more interesting names in baseball, Dick Pole. Your mind can go a lot of places with that, but I won't go anywhere with it. But anyway, that's going to be the game next Saturday. Coming up tomorrow, I'm going to probably record it tonight as a doubleheader. But coming up tomorrow, let's see, it'll be the Tigers and the Senators from Washington in inside pitch, a doubleheader from September 22nd. That'll be the next video on the channel. It will be a doubleheader. It's going to be recorded and premiered. That way I can, between games, I can pause the video and take a little break and then come back for game 2, get everything reset for game 2. But that will be the situation there. So next week, Boston and Kansas City, 1973 NBC Game of the Week. And then on the 67 season, it is doubleheader action tomorrow, Detroit at Washington. And then probably on Tuesday night, doubleheader action, Boston at Baltimore. As the Red Sox currently trail the Tigers by 2.5 games. And the season is winding down. They're running out of time. So if the Tigers happen to sweep the Senators, that could be the beginning of the end for the Red Sox. We shall see. And whoever wins that 67 American League race, I will play a World Series against the Cardinals. And we'll do, the same setup. Whoever had the home field, I believe the Red Sox had the home field. So either the Red Sox or the Tigers would get the home field. And I'll use the exact lineups for the St. Louis Cardinals. Now, if the Tigers get in, of course, I'll have to make up the lineups the best I know how. But the Red Sox get in, of course, we'll use real lineups for that as well. Now, you don't see doubleheaders, Brian B, on the other channel. You certainly don't. You don't see lineup boards on the other channel. You certainly do not. You don't have feline interruptions or feline, feline drama on the other channel. You do get a lot of excitement on the other channel. You get a loud, boisterous mouth on the other channel that really will wake you up if you're sleepy, that's for sure. A lot of excitement on the other channel. But not much in the way of variety on the other channel, though. It's pretty much inside pitch or bust. So maybe one of these days he'll, maybe in between season replays, he'll venture out to do some more games, other games. I think sometimes he does Arkham or something like that, but maybe he'll do a Strat 86 Mets game here or there, or do something in History Maker Golf or something like that. Maybe one of the war games or something. Whatever is going on at the time. But anyway, let's go do it from here. Cubs win at 7-3. Rick Russell the win, Royce the loss. And let's go do it here from the NBC Game of the Week. Tabby is back in her restful position, and after she looked at me with such angst last time, I don't dare disturb her again this time. So yeah, that would be great. Strat Network, that would be wonderful, wouldn't it? But anyway, and it's an outside possibility. We're not going to commit to anything. I'm not committing RJL to anything. I'm not committing myself to anything. But it's an outside possibility that RJL and myself might play a game against each other on YouTube head to head. So we'll see if we want to work that out. That's after his 69 thing is all over with. We may do something like that with Inside Pitch. Maybe we'll do a 69 Mets against 69 Orioles or something like that. I don't know. We'll wait and see. But we'll figure it out. It's very possible that we can do that. So anyway, like I said, don't want to commit anybody to anything because I don't want to commit to something and not be able to pull it off. So we're going to put it out there in the maybe category. So anyway, that's going to do it from here. The win by Chicago, I mean, it really doesn't affect the pennant race because Chicago now is 48-65. It does hurt Houston. They're now 11 games back. They dropped to 63-55. I don't think they're going to catch San Francisco anyway, but you never know. So Boston and Baltimore, by the way, are in a dead heat as I did the simming on the other game. In fact, I'll show it on the Strat computer. Yeah, Kenny, I had a lot of fun with Jeffrey. We're going to do the playoffs. I'm going to be the Orioles, and he's going to be the Twins in the playoffs. So we're going to be streaming some games on his channel in the playoffs in a couple of weeks. I had a lot of fun with that. He's he's one that really got me back into Strat because I was heavy into inside pitch, and I said, wait a minute, I got to get back into Strat here. So he's definitely encouraged me to do that. He's also encouraged me possibly to do a full season replay like he's doing every game. But if I do that, it would just be one league, not both leagues. I don't have the time like he has. He's retired, so I don't have that much time. But I might do something where I just play all games in one league, and it might take a couple of years to get it done. But he's kind of inspired me to maybe look at that possibility. So let's go to the standings in the American League. And this is what we got in the American. I don't know what's going to show up on the computer. I'll try to do it. So I'll try to look through the phone so I can see what you guys are seeing. Maybe take off some of this glare. Maybe I'll take off all the glare. Let's turn all the lights out and see if that comes up a little bit better now to where you can see it. Hope it's not too dark. There you see Baltimore and Boston are tied. Not exactly, but I mean percentage-wise, Baltimore is in the lead by 0.02, but they're in virtual tie. So, and in the West, Oakland is kind of dominating, kind of won that already. But Kansas City is not a bad team, 59-57. They're 7 games less than what they were in real world. So they're not going to be easy out for Boston, that's for sure. Of course, Boston and Baltimore are both way above their skis in the way they're playing. Baltimore is 7 games better than what they were in real life, and Boston is 9 games better than what they were in real life. Yankees are 9 games worse than what they were in real life. So much for the Strat-O-Matic New York bias there. That's not helping the Yankees right now. So anyway, that's the those are the lineups. Not the lineups, but those are the standings. And, of course, next week you got Kansas City and Boston, where you will have Paul Splittorff against Dick Pole. That'll be next Saturday at 1 p.m. Fix this again here. Okay, so that's the lineup board or the score sheet there with no lights on. No, I'm not doing 2023 midlife. That's too many. I was thinking about maybe doing 41, the American League in 41, and playing that out and see if I can get Ted Williams to hit 400 and see if I can get a hitting streak for Joe DiMaggio. That's certainly a possibility. The only problem with that is I don't have it on the Strat computer, and I really like to. That way, I'm missing the players that aren't carded and everything. Some other alternative possibly would be 1977 National League. I already did the White Sox replay in 77, which was American League. And I did a few Cub games, not that many, but I'm thinking about doing, I could do a whole National League in 77. 82 was a possibility. 1961 American League is a possibility. There's several different possibilities I can look into. But that would be way down the road after this season is over in 73. So you're talking, that wouldn't start till probably November. If I did it at all, it wouldn't start till November. But I could do it over the winter time. And, a lot of it would be offline, but I could pick a game of the week or game of the day or whatever and put it on the channel. But that's a possibility. Just to see for myself, not let the computer sim everything, but I want to play every game and just see how accurate Strat-O-Matic gets when you get down and dirty with every single game. So, I mean, it might be a pipe dream, but, sometimes you got to aspire to do certain things. You never know. So anyway, that's going to do it from here. Cubs beat the Astros 7-3 tomorrow night, doubleheader. Detroit at Washington. First game of that doubleheader is going to be, if I have the printout, I thought I did. Now I can't find it. I got too much stuff going on. So I'm trying to figure out where the printout is. But anyway, that's the, for those that missed it, those are the standings. This should actually be through 9/21 now because we're at 9/22. So through September 21st, those are the standings. And I thought I had it printed out in front of me, but I do not. I do not. Thought I did, and I don't. Sometimes you think you have stuff and you don't. Or did I? Do I? No, I've got the ones for Boston and Baltimore, but I don't have the ones for Detroit and Washington like I thought I had. Oh, well, not a big deal. Anyway, it will be Detroit and Washington going twice, double dipping from the nation's capital. So that's going to do it from here. I know I said that like 5 times, so I really need to get going here because I may come back in a little bit and start recording that doubleheader. So I do appreciate everybody spending part of your Saturday afternoon with me. If you liked the game, please do a like. I mean, I think it does something with the YouTube inner workings that might get this game out to more people. That way more people could be exposed to it that are just trolling through YouTube and they might stumble upon it. So that would be nice. Appreciate everybody that's viewing it and subscribing. It's a good community. And RJL, of course, taking the night off because he just did the All-Star game, but he'll be kicking it back up probably tomorrow night, I guess. And follow along that 1969 inside pitch. See how the second half goes. Brian's only got 33 home runs, and he hit 52 in the real season. Inside pitch is hard to get home runs. You don't get them off the batter card usually, unless it's very rare that a batter has an H in that little 6x6 grid. You usually have to depend on the pitcher giving up the home run or a ballpark giving up the home run. So, yeah, and of course the D20 roll on top of it could be off too. So, you never know. So anyway, thank you all for tuning in. And Tabby would say something, but she's napping right now, and I don't dare disturb her. But on behalf of Tabby, I will wish you all a wonderful weekend. Enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it. And as usual, Tabby and I will both see you down the road.